What's going on, guys? So today we have a very special package in all the way from Japan. This is a box filled with Tokyo Marui G17 Gen 5 MOSs. What we'll be going over today is a quick unboxing, first looks, and some of the news that has been shared by the gas blowback community regarding these replicas, and we'll figure out whether or not you should spend your hard-earned money to pick up one of these Tokyo Marui G17s. So if you like it when I unbox airsoft replicas and give you my first impressions straight out of the box, let me know in the comments below, and if you don't like it, let me know as well. I'm not sure if I want to continue to do this stuff just because I don't get a really good in-depth chance to test out the replica before showing it to you guys, so I can't tell you whether or not it's really going to be good in the long term, just my first impressions. So just let me know in the comments below if it's something that you like, and obviously like and subscribe if you want to support the channel. The reason I wanted to do this box specifically though is because there's not just one or two Tokyo Maruis in here, there's actually 4 Tokyo Marui G17 Gen 5s in this box, so we'll get right into it. So as we're tearing into this box, this did come from Impulse 101 JP. They don't ship to California specifically, but if you are in the States, they're a really great option. If you're in California, you do have to work something out to figure out how to get them into the state, but otherwise it's a great option for those of us who are residing in the United States to get your hold on some Japanese products. So right off the bat, very well packaged by the guys over there at Impulse 101. As always, it looks like it's going to be kind of tough to get it out of the box, so I'm just going to cut the box open inside here. There we go. And we'll get rid of the outer shell. There we go. So you can kind of see the stack of 4 in here. So we'll open this up. Somewhat meticulously. Boom. There we go. All right. Right off the bat, the first one here. So it's got a little sleeve wrapper on there. I think I opened this up backwards. They covered up the labels for the trademarking. And let's take a look at the top. The beautiful orange top here. The packaging is just renowned from Tokyo Marui. And here we are. So we've got the G17 Gen 5 MOS. So it looks like they did the wrapping of the trigger guard, put the orange muzzle device on, and then also covered up the trades with some electrical tape. Let's see. Should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, that just peels right off, no problem. Stick it on the side. And so there you can see the trades on the G17. But overall, first impressions, obviously very light in the hand. These are polymer pistols, so the slide, the barrel, and the lower receiver are all polymer. And then it has metal ambidextrous controls for the slide release. Trigger feels very good. So just want to walk you through the trigger really quick here. So as you can see, finger on the trigger, there's a bit of that take up, and you hit a nice firm wall. And then a pretty crisp break. And then on the release, audible reset. And then a clean break. There we go, all right. So we'll get this how Tokyo Marui intended us to see it as. Take our plug out. But there we go. Feels very nice, very smooth in hand. And for comparison's sake, I do have my VFC Gen 4 here. So this one's a little bit rougher, aluminum slide though. Let me take off the weapon light. So in hand, you know, they feel very similar. The Tokyo Marui does feel a bit thicker on the grip versus the Gen 4. That might just be my hands. But inside the box, we've got obviously a magazine with the updated follower. We've got a couple of different straps here, a cleaning rod tucked down in there, and our little box of Japanese BBs. And then in the lid, we have our instruction set. So take a look, obviously we've got block number 2, 3, and 4. So I'll get this out of the way. But basically there you have it. So we've got all of our Tokyo Maruis here in front of us. Boom. What this is going to allow us to do is we have a good sample size as we're testing these out across the team. And then that way we can provide you really good feedback of whether or not it's reliable. It won't just be a one-person use case and a kind of a single data point. We will be able to, test these under similar conditions with actually 4 examples of the G17 Gen 5. Really quickly here, just grab my safety goggles. Always wear goggles when you're playing with toy replicas. But basically, I've got a empty mag loaded in here, so if we take this out, there's no BBs, as you can see. Go ahead and rack this back and take a couple of shots. So this is filled with green gas, so you can see the recoil cycle there. Everything looks pretty good so far. Recoil impulse and the reset and the trigger feel great, honestly. Better than my VFC here, so we'll just take a couple shots with this one. And then we'll put it into the Tokyo Marui. So it actually feels really good in hand. So just doing a quick FPS test with the Gen 5 Glock, we were getting about 260 FPS on average with the regular green gas. And then with some 110 gas, we were getting about 240 FPS with a 0.20 gram BB. As you saw there, the Gen 5 magazine does work in a VFC Glock and vice versa. They do have similar routers where they are both curved. We did also try this with a couple of Wii mags and some older Gen 3 Glock magazines. All of them are cross compatible. However, the Wii mags do have a flat style magazine rubber, so it doesn't quite mate up perfectly to the nozzle on the inside of here. So just keep that in mind. If you do have some of those older mags, they will work, but they just won't seal perfectly and there will be a little bit of leakage. But otherwise, no issues with older magazines. I'll move these off to the side here. There we go. One thing I did want to test is compatibility with Safariland holsters. So this is I believe a 6390 with the RDS on there. It does seem like it's jamming up on this plastic piece. So let's see how easy it is to remove. I'm gonna grab some tools and pull this off. So it does look like it's just lightly glued on there. If we can get the camera to focus a bit, but you can see it's just glued onto the outer barrel, and that's what it looks like now with that removed. So I'll go ahead, try it again in the holster. Clicks in, wow. Clicks in very nicely. Retention is good. We'll put on the X300. Wow. So one of the issues that I had with the Gen 4 VFC Glock is that the thickness from top to bottom is actually thicker than the real steel version. And so, as you can see, I would get hung up right here and it would actually open the battery cap on the X300 for the VFC Glock, but it looks like they fixed that on the actual Tokyo Marui one. So now that's a non-issue. And it fits in very nicely. Red dot version, and then down here I've got the non-red dot holster. So it is contacting on the slide release on the outside on this holster, which is hanging up the gun a bit. So it might require some dremeling on this particular Safariland in order for it to not catch on this ambidextrous slide release. See, right there. Okay, so now I want to get into some of the features with the Tokyo Marui Gen 5 Glock. First of all, the barrel looks like it's still made out of the old ABS that they were using on some of the other polymer Tokyo Maruis. Just to release the RMR cap here, you press back on the back of the slide right at the top here, and then this slides forward, comes out. This also looks like it's made out of some ABS as well, so just wanted to point that out. But otherwise it looks like the frame or the slide itself is a nylon reinforced polymer. We tested this with a Gen 3 Tokyo Marui and found that the slide was significantly stiffer. Also the blowback unit is about 20% larger. It's a bit longer and a bit wider in terms of width of the cylinder. We do believe this should hold up to use with an RMR using green gas. So I want to throw up some images now on the screen to show you some early reports of the Gen 5 MOS on the heavy recoil Discord. And it looks like the parts that are ABS on the slide have cracked due to green gas use. Supposedly they were not shot, so just want to make that disclaimer there. And it was just from firing it, not actually being shot, but it could also be from, you know, banging it up against the wall, Kydex use, that sort of thing. So just keep that in mind. The two pieces that I pointed out that are made out of ABS, they still are rather brittle, whereas the slide itself seems like it's a lot stronger than the original material used. But other than that, I do want to talk about the optics plate for the Tokyo Marui. I haven't had this 100% confirmed, but I do believe that this is a proprietary mounting system specifically for Tokyo Marui. As we're taking a look at some of the accessories that come with the package, you can see that plate there made up specifically to the TM red dot. So I'll post a picture of that up on the screen. We do have one of those. We mounted it up. It worked perfectly fine, but do keep in mind the housing itself on the Tokyo Marui red dot is polymer as well as the glass, so it does get scratched up over use. There are some reports, early reports, of custom adapters being made for the Gen 5 MOS. I'll throw up some images of that as well. That would convert this to like a HoloSun, RMR, Acro footprint. But I don't have any of those with me right now to confirm or deny whether or not those are going to work. So time will tell as more information comes out. This is a relatively new platform, and so I'm sure there's a lot of upgrades planned for this because people are really excited about the Gen 5. Overall first impressions in hand, just having this for the first time actually in my hands, feeling it, this thing feels great, and really excited to see what we can do with this and see how it performs. So I'll have a second video coming out getting into a little bit more of the technical detail on the G17 Gen 5 MOS, so just subscribe if you want to see that. But otherwise, we'll have a long-term review coming up as we continue to get some more testing. These are just kind of first results and first impressions of the platform, so I'll have a more in-depth review as we continue to test these things and see what else new develops, so I'll be sure to report that back to you guys. But until then, see you out there in the field.